go then. Third time up. And if they could get anywhere near their first meeting, it'll be a great fight. So they wheel out the golden oldies, and this is a good town for that. And it's speculated a great deal of gambling in this town, and $9 million at the gate, which is an all-time record, $800 at ringside. Remember now that Duran won the first contest on points. That was 15 rounds at that time, but it was a close one. And then that inexplicable retirement, quit, the no mass, as they called it in New Orleans, in the return. He says he's going to explain after this contest what really happened to that. Well, they're both a bit wary, Jim, aren't they, at this stage? I suppose you can't blame them.
Yeah, well, they both know each other only too well. Now, obviously, we know exactly what Duran's going to do. He's going to try to put Leonard under as much pressure as possible. What we don't know is what's in Leonard's head. What kind of strategy does he intend using tonight? Is he going to stand and trade as he did the first time? Or is he going to use his legs and try to frustrate Duran? Personally, I think the latter, at least in the first few rounds anyway. He's catching Duran with a jab already. He seems a little bit sharper than Duran in the early stages of the first round here.
The amazing thing, Jim, is that Leonard has been down in 3 of his last 4 contests, actually taking counts. But he always gets up, that's the main thing. Yes, it looks as though it's going to be a long-range job by Leonard, but will Duran stand for that?
Well, Duran is not really mounting the pressure in the first round here. He's stalking Leonard, but he's not really putting him under any pressure. He's standing off. It's as though he hasn't really started yet, and he's been nailed once or twice with some sharp little counters from Leonard.
It's almost as if Duran's saying, do you mind standing still while I hit you? But he started off slowly when he fought the last fight against Aaron Barkley. I know you can't compare styles with Barkley and Leonard, but it took a long time to get going with him, and had a great fight to win that one. He might take him the time to warm up here. It really is a bit nippy. There it is, you see, wrapping him up between rounds. I want to keep him warm, that's what it's all about. Second round. And not too many punches in the opening round, but those that landed gave it to Leonard. Three judges, Las Vegas, New Jersey and Belgium. Should it go to 12 rounds? It certainly looks a lot more mobile, Leonard, Jim, than he did against Tommy Hearns when he really struggled to get a draw.
Yeah, well I'm giving Leonard the benefit of the doubt. We have to remember it was 95 degrees at ringside all the way through his fight with Hearns. I thought he boxed very poorly. I thought he lost that fight, and I thought he really had nothing left. But already he looks a little bit stronger and sharper, and it's far colder tonight than it was obviously in June. But Leonard started this fight very well indeed. He's not really been under any pressure. He's been landing nice little sharp counters. And I think he'd be quite happy to see the first 3 or 4 rounds follow this pattern. It's up to Duran not to let that happen. He must really get some fire into his performance.
at Duran. He's got this obsessive commitment when he fights, and he really, although he's an attacking fighter, he really doesn't get hit that much. That's why he's lasted so long. He's far more skill than generally credited, although it's a different style entirely to the Sugar Man. Such a good thinker, Leonard, Jim, isn't he? And sort of ad-libs his strategy as he goes along.
Yeah, that's the thing about Leonard. He can do so many different things. From one round to the next, he can be like a totally different fighter. But you can see he's really brimming with confidence here. He feels he's in control already. He's catching Duran with plenty of punches. Now he's starting to showboat. I think he actually wants Duran to raise the pace so he'll make some more mistakes. He feels so confident here. But Duran a little bit low-key. He really has to. He's going to have to move into higher gear.
Yeah, it's a repeat of the second fight in New Orleans when he started to show off a bit. But I don't think he's going to frustrate Duran as he did in that fight. I mean, it would be unbelievable if he did. Wrap the man up. They treat him almost like the Shirley Temple of boxing, don't they? But he's much meaner and sharper than that when he's in this ring. Well, that's what they reckon the punches have been thrown there. It's a question of the scoring punches as far as I'm concerned.
Every time you get a chance, deal in the body, but you want to go to the body with both hands.
So there we are, then zooming in for the third round. Remember, 12 rounds championship. And so far, a really skillful performance, sort of artful butchery almost by Sugar Ray Leonard. But can Duran now sort of creep closer to him as the fight goes along and try and make him swap punches close in?
See, it's possible Duran doesn't feel he's going to catch Leonard with any worthwhile punches in the first quarter of the fight. So maybe he doesn't intend using up a lot of useless energy, just wasting energy. But he looks now as though he's revving up a little bit. Yeah, this is more like Duran now, a little bit more pressure. Leonard looks that a little bit sharper every move. He just seems that little bit sharper than Duran. Duran's getting caught as they break out of a clinch. He just can't seem to match him for sharpness.
The first fight, of course, Leonard fought Duran's type of fight. He stood and tried to slug it out with him. I actually admired him for that, but it didn't work. And I'm wondering now whether Duran can draw him into a fight. I doubt it. After two fights, Jim, almost as though the moves have been choreographed for them, really, and know so much about each other. I'm a bit surprised that Duran is standing off. Yeah, I know you made the point that he might be saving it for another part of the fight, but I think he needs to get in and hustle a bit more.
Yeah, well, Duran doesn't really have the power to trouble a good middleweight. I mean, he's been a great fighter and a great puncher all the way through, but he hasn't really knocked out any top-class middleweights that are super middles as well tonight. So I don't think he can afford to allow Leonard to build up a points lead. See, Leonard again, that little bit sharper, always has the last word in every exchange.
And good solid punches too. Oh yes, we've got the walk away and the dropped hands. It's going to be a show-off job by Ray Leonard.